Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sunny Side. I'm Sunny, and this video right here is specifically for Mars in Pisces. Anyone who has that astro configuration. I have an astro configuration, Sunny. Yeah, why don't you show you and configure your astro player? Okay. Anyways, just say, for anyone who has a Mars in Pisces, or anyone who has a strong Piscean element within their chart, maybe someone has a lot of water in their chart, I'm going to explain all of that today. Anyways, that's the action. Now, for those who are new to the channel and those who don't know, once again, hey everyone, I'm Sunny. Welcome to the Sunny Side. For those who don't know, I'm a professional astrologer. I do write the horoscopes for some of the newspapers up here in Canada. And if you'd like a personal reading, just check it out in the description box below. In addition to that, every morning here on the channel, we do tons and tons of live streams where I do astrology and I read your horoscopes every morning here on the channel. And if you want to take part in that, or you want to see what's going on, then by all means, please subscribe to the channel. Maybe give the video a bloop, 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 a thumbs up. And if you drop by, please say what's up. Please say hi, and I hope everyone is having a super amazing day. All right, so here we go. So here's the format of this video here. I'm going to give a little bit of blah, blah. Then I'm going to give my 2 cents on Mars in Pisces. And then I'm going to tell you guys what some other interpretations of Mars and Pisces from some modern astrologers out there, or relatively modern astrologers, and then I'm gonna do my best as I tell you those interpretations to dispel some of the myths and prejudices that people have about Mars in Pisces or Piscean energy in general. There are a lot of myths out there. I'd say because of Pisces' dual rulership of being ruled by both Jupiter and Neptune, Pisces is, although they're not a misunderstood sign, there are a lot of prejudices and stereotypes about Pisces out there, and I'd like to dispel some of that today. All right, that's the action. Everybody cool? Once again, if that's the action. So now I'm going to do some blah blah and what's going on in the channel, and if you hit the boogie, I'll catch your action later in the video. All right, first up, we are sponsored by theastroside.com. There's a link in the description box below. And on the Astro-Side, you can get some really cool SunnySide gear. We have some really cool leggings and socks. This is our most popular t-shirt. Everything comes in different colors. I'm wearing this one right here. This is not in hoodie format. I have one in hoodie format. I'm wearing a long sleeve one. It gets cold up in Canada. Just saying. And I like this one here, actually. All right, what else, Sonny? Whatever, man. Nobody cares what you're wearing. Look, anyways, they make great gifts. And oh, we have really cool mugs. And the shirts, I have this mug right here. I'm not using it right now, but I have this mug. And in addition to that, there are a bunch of novelty shirts. And the shirts, everything comes in different colors. This is our Leo one, keep calm and follow your leader. This is for Gemini. And for Libra, in all fairness, it's not my fault if I'm too pretty. And I really like this one. This one is really nice. Together It's a Beautiful Day. I'm waiting for mine to arrive right now. I'm waiting for my green one to arrive. I ordered one of these. Anyways, I really like them. I'm a big fan of it. And if you want to help support the channel, you know, if you find yourself wanting to support the channel, then by all means, please, 1, subscribe, and 2, pick up some of our SunnySide gear. I'll just show you the Pisces one because this is a Pisces video. I'll show you what's going on with Pisces. I think it's over here somewhere. And so these hoodies are just boss. They kick ass. Here we go. This is Pisces right here. And also a bunch of mugs, different kinds of mugs here. The mugs are really cool. But I'll show you the Pisces hoodie and then we'll get on. So this is the Pisces hoodie. It comes in, there's a red one here. There's a blue one. And that's at the Astro-Side. Oh, so we'll keep with red because red is Mars energy. All right. And that's the Astroside.com. All right. Everybody cool with that? I'm cool with that. All right, and that's what you do if you want to support the channel. All right, Mars in Pisces. Oh, one more thing. I guess I better show you guys one more thing. Here, one sec. This here is the SunnySide. website right here. And if this is where you go if you want an astrology reading, or this is where you go if you want your astro report. We have your birth chart here, your natal report, compatibility report, relocation if you move, progress report. It's all in there. I can explain it to you some other time, or just tune into the channel every morning and you can figure it out. Also, more about me is on here. Some of my, you know, the newspaper articles about me, or some of the TV interviews I've done are on the channel too, or whatever is whatever. Sonny's awesome. I really am awesome. Anyways, that's the action. Let's get down to it. Mars in Pisces. Okay, so that's what you do if you want to support the channel. Every little bit helps support the channel, and I super appreciate all of it. All right, Sonny, we get it. That's what you do if you want to support the channel. What if nobody gives a shit? Well, if nobody cares, then, like, whatever. All right, let's talk about what's going on here. So, okay, first, and I explain this quite a bit, so I'm not going to overly explain. So we have, okay, I'll explain it. So we have the houses, right? These are the numbers, and that's like where things are happening. So if it's in your first house, it's kind of happening to you. If it's your 7th house, it's kind of happening to your relationship. If it's the 5th house, it's happening to your kids. If it's the 10th house, it might be happening to your career, very publicly happening to you. 2nd house happening to your money. 8th house, it might, you know, people gonna die. So, you know, different kind of stuff. And Pisces rules this 12th house over here. I guess we'll move this around so it's easier to see. Pisces tends to take care of this action right here. And I'm mentioning this because quite often people, you know, professional astrologers, when you write horoscopes every single day, or you're talking about it nonstop, you know, you combine things, you mix things up, you mix the words, and it's just normal for that to happen. And so oftentimes the 12th house and Pisces become interchanged when people are describing things, and it's just not the way it works. Like there are similarities, but it's not the same. Or else the 12th house would be called Pisces, but it's not. It's called the 12th house. And Pisces would be called number 12, but it's not. It's called Pisces. They're different. In addition to that, okay, so that's the action. That's the house, and that's Pisces. And in addition to that, we have Mars. And Mars is your active energy. That's where stuff is happening. So if Mars is happening in your 2nd house, forget about this on the sign on the outside. If Mars is in your 2nd house, that's a lot of money. So you're going to spend a lot of money. You might make a lot of money, you might spend a lot of money, but Mars is heating up your money. It's the red planet. Think hot. Mars, heat, hot, spending a lot of money. So, and when there's too much energy going into that area, there can be problems. If there's too much energy in the 7th house, you could fight with your partner, right? You could fight with your partner. In the 8th house, this is the money you share with others. If there's too much energy in the 8th house, you could make a lot of money, you could inherit some money, you could fight about money with your partners. You could also be a partner. Someone spends too much money out of control. It's, you know, it's that kind of thing as well. Now, in addition to heating things up, Mars, you put a lot of effort where Mars is in your chart. So if Mars is in the 1st house, you can be argumentative. You put yourself forward a lot. This is what I think. This is who I am. This is what's going on. And you can be quite confrontational. If Mars is in, so you put a lot of energy there. And as such, I'll say it again, you can become confrontational and it can cause problems. There's so much energy there, it can be disruptive. And so Mars in the 2nd house, again, spending a lot of money, problems with money. Mars in the 8th house. So the 8th house is your sexuality and joint finances. Mars in the 8th house, you're going to have sexual problems. You're going to, you know, so you got to watch out for that, you know. Mars in the 4th house, your parents are going to get sick. You know, Mars in the 6th house, you're going to get sick. Mars in the 12th house. The 12th house is everything that's behind the scenes. So it's stuff you don't see. The 1st house is out in the open. The 12th house, behind the scenes. So also rules institutions, and it's stuff you don't see. So if Mars is in the 12th house, stuff's happening that you don't know about. Be careful. You know, these are your enemies, your friends, and you know, these are your friends, your social network. This is open enemies. This is behind the scene enemies. If Mars is there, it's also your friends. Okay, so this is your friends, your social networks. These are the people that you could get married to, your relationships. If it's happy, it's happy. If it's negative, it's negative. You got to deal with it. But the 12th house is stuff you don't see. Mars there, you don't see it. All right. Now, in addition to, okay, so that's the deal. Now let's get into Mars and Pisces. Okay, that's a lot of blah, blah that I didn't care about. All right. So Pisces, what's Pisces? Pisces is, let's explain Pisces. So that's Mars. Wherever Mars is, it's going to be some energy heating up. You're going to get into it. And the sign is how the energy is heating up. So if Mars is heating up in the second house, going to cause problems in your money, this is the sign is how Mars is going to heat it up. All right? If it's in the 12th house, behind the scenes stuff, it's how it's going to heat it up. You know, if there are problems with your health over here, physical health, mental health, 6th house, physical health, 12th house, mental health. There's a problem with your mental health, how? All right. There's more to it than that, all of that. Mars is also part of your physical sexuality. Venus is how you want to relate to others. You know, it's love. Mars is more like sex. It's physical love. But it's not that. It's also what you, an angst, a yearning. It's what you want to do. Venus is a passive kind of receptive, although you give out, you know. It's a rapport. Mars is more like, this is what I want to do. And it's a little bit different. And let's talk about, okay, so that's Mars. Okay, whatever is whatever, that's Mars. Let's talk about Pisces now. So Pisces is ruled by 2 planets. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, which is spirituality, expansive, ambitious. It's optimistic. It's all of the good things that you think about Sagittarius, minus the fiery part of Sagittarius. Does that make sense? Marge, see how these guys are similar colors? Pisces and Saggy are similar colors. It's because they're ruled by Jupiter, except this is also ruled by Neptune as well, so it's a little bit different. See that? Aries and Scorpio ruled by Mars. Scorpio is also Pluto, so it's a little bit different. Taurus and Libra are ruled by Venus. They're both blue, a little bit different. You know, Mercury, Virgo and Gemini, both ruled by Mercury. It's yellow. If you guys ever wanted to know what the color on the wheel means, this particular wheel is spelt out like that. Cancer's the moon, Leo's the sun, right? They get their own separate colors. Anyways, so Pisces is Jupiter in water. And that's important because water is a very emotional kind of thing. Now, emotional doesn't mean crying. That's only one of many emotions, just to keep that in mind. And so Mars, okay, so once again, Jupiter is optimistic, expansive, and it's very spiritual. It's a spiritual planet. And then we have Neptune, which is the planet of illusions. It's a planet like, and Pisces very much is like seeing the world through, on one hand, rose-colored glasses, but it's also like the Jupiter side of it is rose-colored glasses. Sagittarius is a very optimistic, let's look at the world through rose-colored glasses signs as well. And they're actually the most optimistic sign. And that's pure Jupiter and fire. Now Jupiter, when combined with with Neptune, it's like wearing rose-colored glasses that are filled with water. It's all about illusions. And so as such, Pisces is surrounded by all of these illusions and their spirituality, and they're dreamy. And because it's a water sign, communication is not the easiest thing. And as such, Pisces, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, they all communicate very differently than the other signs. The water signs have a different form of communicating. And with Pisces, Pisces rules the arts. It's communicating. It's a non-verbal communication. And that's one of the things that Pisces rules. Cancer is the sign of the crab. There are no vocal cords in the crab. Cancer is one of the most expressive signs, but the biggest, most non-verbally expressive sign is Cancer. And then we get Scorpio, who expresses themselves with Mars pushing through, which is rage, rage. And you're like, they express themselves through vengeance. It's a different kind of thing. So Pisces seeing things in an illusion. But there's more to it. Pisces is not one fish. Pisces are two fishes. And it works like this. If the fish are swimming around like this, woo, and it's going, and on one hand, if it's a negative situation, it can suck you right down with them. And in another hand, if you can suck you right into the water and drown you in an emotional deluge, so to speak. But on the other hand, it can go like this and send you up to greater heights. Pisces are some of the most successful people around. Pisces are also some of the most brilliant and spectacular failures on the planet. And so that's how it works. And so keep that in mind. Now Mars is putting their energy in there and it's heating up the waters. So that's what it's doing. So Mars is kind of what you're doing. I'm hesitant to say what you want to do because that's the moon is kind of what you want to do. Venus is what you attract and your essence of rapport and kind of how you love, and what you're longing to do. Mars is more of an immediate kind of thing. It's like, let's get this action happening right now. Now, Mars in Pisces. Let's look at some quick characteristics about this. Mars in Pisces people can be lazy, artsy fartsy, majorly artsy fartsy. All right, whatever is whatever. Mars and Pisces people are spiritual. They are. Now, here's the deal. Pisces likes to stick up for people. It's one of the signs of helping. On this axis right here, Pisces, Virgo, 6-12 axis in the chart right here, it's helping other people. They call it one of the signs of service. Pisces make great nurses, and so Pisces also rules the arts. They also rule drugs like pharmaceuticals. And so anyways, when Mars gets into here, it can be very dogmatic. It's like very much you think your support, your support, and it pushes in. So Mars and Pisces people they can be very argumentative. They're like very much push and push and push. If a Venus is in Pisces, on the other hand, Venus in Pisces wants to support the underdog. Yeah, we'll support you. Come on. And Venus in Pisces gets taken advantage of. So here's the difference. Venus in Pisces gets taken advantage of. Mars in Pisces moves in the other direction, and they fight and stick up for what they think is right and what they believe in. Problem is, rose-colored water-filled glasses again. The planet ruled by the planet of illusions. So Mars is being added to optimism. Mars is being added to spirituality. But Mars is also being added to illusions and dogma and what you think is right. And so, as such, you got to watch out for it. Mars in Pisces is not the greatest placement for Mars. But on the other hand, it can be, like with all things with Pisces. On one hand, it can be really bad. On the other hand, it can be very good. In addition to all of that, Mars and Pisces, these guys tend to work. They can work in the arts. They tend to have some kind of artistic tinge to them. Again, I'm all over the place here. Mars and Pisces. So Mars and Pisces, they can be flaky, very flaky. Mars and Pisces, incredibly. They stick up for other people very much. They stick up for what they believe in. Mars in, can be very aggressive. Mars in Pisces, if it's not aggressive, they are complete flakes. Mars in Pisces. Pisces is a water sign. They're going la 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 la. Mars in Pisces is going to go la la la. They're going to lollygag through life. Unless they have a cause that they believe in, they're going to lollygag through life. Mars and Pisces, they could easily succumb to drugs and alcohol. Mars going into Neptune, illusions. Mars and Neptune, creating a drug problem. Watch out for it. And so they're just these guys are they easily succumb to the illusions. But there's more to it. Pisces is one of the most romantic signs. Mars and Pisces people want a lot of romance in their life. They're very dreamy people. They believe in romance. They believe in dreams. It's Jupiter energy. They don't necessarily see the world the way it is. They're extremely optimistic, but it's not fiery optimism like Sagittarius. It's romantic and dreamy optimism like a water sign like Pisces. And Anyways, that's the deal with Mars in Pisces. I'll explain more as we go along. All right, next. So that's it. That's the action over there. Let's see what some of the experts, so-called experts, have to say about it. All right. Donna Van Toen says, there are pluses to this Mars, but overall, it's a difficult placement. Well, it can be, it's like everything. There's a plus and a minus and a pro and a con. On a positive note, this position will help offset selfishness found elsewhere in the chart. It also makes you kind, forgiving, and a good listener. Usually, it suggests shyness. People with this position are almost never aggressive and are frequently of the sort who apologize when someone else steps on their foot. But the potential problems are many. Sometimes there's a tendency to be too influenced by others. Right? They're surrounded. Okay, next. Other times, there's a tendency to wander through life with no goals. In still other instances, there's a fear of the unknown. In the material world, it leads to involvement in religion or some form of psychic phenomena to the exclusion of all else. These guys can be dogmatic. When they get on it, they get on it. The emotions are almost always unpredictable, with ecstatic highs and a tendency to brood when depressed. Under severe stress, extra care is needed with alcohol, tranquilizers, and psychic phenomena of the spiritualist nature, as these can cause you to lose touch with reality. So Mars and Pisces people are great artists. These guys tend to work, they can work in the arts in some capacity. Even if your Venus is in Virgo, where you're supposed to be helping others, or Virgo, anyways, they're extremely creative people, highly romantic, and touch artsy-fartsy. Babs Kirby and Jane Stubbs says, Mars in Pisces is the most romantic and tricky placement of the water signs. This is someone who is, now by romantic, they're not talking about taking care of others. That's Cancer. By romantic, they're not talking about sharing everything they have. That's Scorpio. By romantic, they mean dreamy, la-la-la kind of love. This is someone who's extremely sensitive to romantic gestures in love and able to tune his or her loved ones tune into their loved one on the subtlest level. These people can make the most attentive lovers who seduce and overwhelm their loved ones with flattery and attention. And yet, just as the object of their affection begins to succumb, they may be on their way, ever elusive to the next lover. Right? Mars and Pisces people are quick to hit the boogie, With a Mars and Pisces suitor, you're never sure you're the real thing or just a sounding board at which they're practicing. The idealized love object of the moment, so to speak. These people may want to keep their vision intact more than they actually want a partner. So these people fall in love with love. They may be in love with the concept of being in love. Okay, whatever. If you're the real thing for a Mars and Piscean person, then your relationship will be infused with romance and mystery. These people will need a degree of intrigue to keep them involved and will themselves regularly inject special ingredients into the relationship to keep the romance alive. These are poetic souls for whom fantasy fiction and fairy tale may be more than real facts. So these are the guys who believe in a romantic fantasy way of leading life. These are the romantic people. There's a deeper yearning for an at-oneness with their partner, a total merging, which they're likely to seek to satisfy through sexual conduct. For them, sex may be a spiritual and sacred experience. It may be an at-oneness with something far greater than their partner and themselves that they seek. They're looking for more than they already have. Next, Sky Alexander. Oh, and stick around to the end. There's a new astrologer that I really like, and they talk about this, about Mars and Pisces, and they talk about the sexuality in Mars and Pisces and how Mars and Pisces can become major sex symbols. And I'll use that in a sec. Sky Alexander says, you have a great deal of trouble asserting yourselves and tend to be rather shy, withdrawn, even timid. Passive and peace-loving. You have no desire to behave aggressively or engage in any sort of contest or combat with others. You believe in turning the other cheek and are more likely to respond to an assault with forgiveness or retreat than with violence. That's not necessarily true. Pisces, this guy's kind of making it up. Pisces bitch, Virgo Pisces, it's the same axis. These guys bitch. All right. Next, highly imaginative. You probably channel much of your energy and enthusiasm into some sort of artistic endeavor. All right, your sensitivity to color, tone, and rhythm might incline you to painting, photography, dance, music, or poetry. Unless fire signs are prominent elsewhere in your birth chart, this placement of Mars signifies a lack of natural vitality, energy, and resistance to illness. You probably need plenty of sleep and are susceptible to contagious diseases, more susceptible to contagious diseases than most people. Allergies, too, might cause you trouble because you're so hypersensitive to your environment. Okay. You're extremely idealistic and romantic about your sexual matters. Wait. This guy also says, although you may not enjoy athletics or any sort of physical activities, you can increase your stamina, blah, blah, through regular... Okay, so this guy is kind of... This guy is, they're bullshitting a little bit here because Mars in a sign... Mars, for physical stamina and things, I know, like, certain signs, fixed signs are good at it, but it kind of has to hit an angle in your chart. It's not a sign thing. So, like I said earlier, sometimes these guys... mix the sign with the house. It's a thing. It's like... Anyways, this guy's bullshitting a little bit. You're extremely idealistic and romantic about sexual matters, and your expectations might be from a fantasy storybook sort that are impossible to achieve in real life. In extreme cases, this placement could indicate celibacy for religious reasons or self-denial that all your energy can be used for art. Right, that's more of a Scorpio thing, just letting you know. It says your heart is touched by someone who appears helpless and needy, and consequently you have a tendency to fall for people who are physically or emotionally ill. It's a very Pisces thing to do. Pisces are natural healers of the zodiac, and they're natural at it, and they want to help you. As a result, you might find yourself continually getting involved with dependent partners who are not capable of taking care of themselves and end up sacrificing for them. All right. Next. Okay, here we go. Okay, wait. Overly idealistic. You may be disappointed frequently by people in your life because you refuse to see them as they really are, viewing them instead through the mist of your illusions. You're seeking the perfect lover, a soulmate, but sometimes, there's a dream compatibility to all of this. Is everybody cool with this? You guys catching what the whole Mars and Pisces action's about? Pisces are dreamy romantics, and they're bringing the dream to life. They want to see this dream in their head come to life. Like all the water signs, they're playful. They want everybody to be happy, and so to speak. But whereas Cancer likes to take care of you and likes to nurture you, and Cancer is fussy about you, and Pisces likes to swirl the waters around you and heat up, and do this kind of thing. And they create an illusion, they're in this romantic fantasy. All right, next. Now, this is from Good Golly Astrology. And this one I really liked, so I put a big chunk of it in here. For Pisces, they call Mars in Pisces the love addict. For Mars and Pisces lover, okay, for the Mars and Pisces lover, to love and be loved is... that's from a song. Okay, to love and be loved is a compulsion, all-consuming drive that affects every part of their lives. It's their demon, their madness, and the monkey that won't ever leave their backs even when they're old and gray. Obviously, this compulsion to love makes these people very vulnerable, but their vulnerability, this acute sensitivity to feelings and emotional situations, just becomes one more aspect of their sexual attractiveness. If you think this passive approach to sex put these lovers at a disadvantage, then think again. Even though sometimes they appear to be helpless victims of love, Mars and Pisces lovers typically dominate relationships simply because of the power of the emotions they bring to them. Like, they can bitch and complain all the time. They're also a mutable sign. So by mutable, I mean very permissive. Mars and Pisces are probably the most permissive lovers of the entire zodiac. And by permissive, I mean, yeah, I'll bend over that chair and let you shove that thing. That's what Mars and Pisces mean. That's what permissible means. They're a mutable water sign, changing emotions and changing how they interact emotionally. And so, plus, Mars and Pisces is used to a little bit of, they expect pain. And so, just saying, Mars and Pisces are one of the most sexual signs of the zodiac by far, and they're doing it to please you. So I wouldn't expect Mars and Pisces to necessarily take the lead all the time, but I do expect Mars and Pisces to say yes. Anyways, a relationship with Mars and Pisces lover can seem like a headlong plunge into an emotional and sexual abyss. No end in sight. But who cares? Like, Mars and Pisces is going to try and heal you. And one of the ways they're going to heal you is through Mars, sexually. Okay. They demand a lot of people. They demand a lot from the people who. Oh, but it's got to be romantic love. You know, if you want to get to batteries and electricity with Mars and Pisces, then you better show game with flowers and candy. Just saying. You're going to need a lot of red wine before you get to the batteries. Just saying. But if you're into that, then that's the way it is. They demand a lot from people who love them, guided by an almost mystical sensitivity to the feelings of other people. They have little trouble finding partners who are up into the challenge, and there's a reason for it. Mars and Pisces, they're highly, highly, highly sexual people. The reasons, they're water, right? Water signs are highly sexual. The reasons, it's just different. It's a loving and bonding kind of sexuality, as opposed to, it's an emotional, spiritual bonding with the water signs. It's different than the fire signs and the... Anyways, the real strength to this type, however, is not in their ability to lure the rest of us into mad affairs. It's their ability to survive them. Remember, it's a water sign. Mars in a water sign will drive you crazy. Is it like, you need me to tell you this? If you're watching this video, you already know that. Their emotional flexibility and their pliant, ever-optimistic approach to sex allows Mars and Pisces lovers to walk from emotional crack-ups that would leave other more sturdy souls in straitjackets. Did you guys catch that? You guys know what the word pliant means? It means bendy. In fact, these lovers often thrive in circumstances, and emotional upheaval, and they typically do all they can to keep the romantic situations fluid and unfixed. And most of all, these guys want a romantic fantasy. So it's a romantic situation for them. So don't ugly it up, you know. If you're going to ugly it, these guys want a beautiful romantic fantasy. If you ugly it up, you're just being ugly. Deception and subterfuge often plays a large role in the love lives of Mars and Pisces. Oh, needless to say, it's Mars in a mutable sign. These guys are they're not loose in the zipper, but they will definitely cheat on you and not tell you. Their needs and desires are so prone to change with circumstances that even they are often surprised at the directions they take. Emotional security means a great deal to them, but they also thrive in a state of emotional flux. They sometimes appear weak and vulnerable, and yet they're capable of the most amazing acts of completely mental, emotional will. They can be very loyal, but they can also be infuriatingly susceptible to romantic diversions. No wonder it's so hard to get a straight story from these sexy and delirious lovers. They rarely have a clear idea of what it is that they want and what in the ass hell they're doing. Their sexual response, the sexual response of Mars and Pisces lover, is always key to their emotional state. In some instances, physical sex can mean very little to them, despite their essentially sensual natures. At other times, it can mean everything. All right. Now, promiscuity is not always a problem here, but there is probably no other Mars type that's so prone to use sex as an emotional crutch. Their capacity for finding a replacement for emotional security in the momentary comfort and release of meaningless sex is probably the most dangerous and certainly the most heartbreaking quality of this type. You guys got that? These guys will give themselves over. They're easily... Not as much as Mars and Venus, not as much as Venus and Pisces. Venus and Pisces get used, but Mars and Pisces are kind of like, it's not that they're being used for sex, it's that they're punishing themselves by getting involved with meaningless sex and drugs and alcohol, right? They're giving into the illusion rather than dealing with life. Sometimes life for the water signs is so painful. Like cancer, if a shell cracks, for the crab, it's so painful. Or if the scorpion is sitting there poison, sitting there with poison in the hot sun. It's so painful for them. Or Pisces, who lives in the water. If the water gets too hot, it's so painful for these guys. They will slide behind this veil of illusion and live in the illusion so they don't have to deal with the reality again. And Pisces, they're fish. Fish can't go out of the water anyways. So they're always seeing this illusion. And it's not like a choice for Pisces. It's who they are. They see the world in this romantic way. And if Mars is there and Pisces, remember, they're going to go down or they're going to go up. If they're going down, they're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the illusion. And you know, sex is just one of the outlets for them to mask the reality. All right. It not only disrupts their lives, but also the lives of the people who love them. Yet they're so lovable, so desirable and romantic that it's always easy to forgive them, blah, blah, blah. All right. And they say, and perhaps this is the most problematic. No matter how badly they behave, it's too easy to fall in love with them all over again. All right, now here's some celebrity examples of Mars and Pisces from the same guys here. And here's a good example of it. So once again, these guys are called the Love Addict from Good Golly Astrology. And of all the ones I've read, I really like the way these guys look at it. So check it out. So keep in mind, all right, so Mars and Pisces, highly seductive. They do use sex as a weapon, and they will dive in and drown themselves and use sex as a drug to escape from reality. And these are some of the people who do it. Marilyn Monroe. Did I say that right? Marilyn Monroe? Marilyn Monroe, Mars and Pisces. Elizabeth Taylor, Mars and Pisces. Ava Gardner, Bo Derek, Tina Turner. Women who use sex appeal, right? It's become legendary. We also some examples of women who made a good living selling their sex appeal. You know, and there are a lot. Anyways, many women. So, you know, these guys dine out on being sexy. Like their sex appeal is what makes them famous and makes. Anyways, as among the men, we often see the abject surrender to the allure of sex and is needed to blah, blah, blah. Thus, we have love addicts like Casanova, Sir Richard Burton, and Errol Flynn. Also, there's more, right? There's a flip side to it, right? It's giving in. Now, here are examples of people who, for one reason or another, assume the passive role in the relationships. Bo Derek, you know, she allowed her husband, John Derek, to remake her in the image of a sex symbol. Tina Turner and Billie Holiday both suffered at the hands of abusive husbands. Spencer Tracy began his relationship with Katharine Hepburn as the dominant partner, but his alcoholism frequently made him childish and dependent. Even noted feminist writer Simone de Beauvoir was, for many years, overwhelmed and held in check by the power of her sexual connection to Mars in Scorpio. Okay, Simone de Beauvoir, Mars in Pisces, was held in check by the power of her sexual connection to Mars in Scorpio lover, Jean-Paul Sartre. Okay, so that's the deal. And there's one more here. Of course, being a passive lover in a relationship does not necessarily make you powerless. Ivana Trump and actress Linda Hamilton both left marriages to wealthy and powerful men with a lot of money. And that's the deal. So in the end, what does Mars and Pisces mean? Mars and Pisces, it's a very sexual placement. First, it's, you know, and first, it's a highly sexual placement. First, highly sexual. 2, can be flaky. 3, easily taken advantage of. They want to create this illusion, and they'll do anything to create the illusion. Third, Mars, Pisces is a mutable water sign. Mutable means bendy. Okay? These guys will do, to them, you know, it's an illusion. Pisces not existing in this world anyway. So Mars and Pisces, they'll do almost anything. Not for sex, to have sex. It's not the point. They'll do almost anything. Mars will do almost anything to Pisces up the air, which is to make their partner happy. So Mars and Pisces will do almost anything for their partner as long as it's, you know, they deal their own needs as well, which is making it romantic. And that's the action. So Mars and Pisces, these guys are major, they're major sex, they're sex symbols. They use sex as They can use sex as a weapon depending on what else is in their chart. And but at the end of the day, these guys are, you know, they just want a romantic fantasy, and that's it. They're one of the most romantic placements of the entire zodiac. And if you have someone with the Mars in Pisces, you should count yourself as exceedingly blessed. You're very lucky, and you know, do your best to make it work, because they need a little bit of guidance. And like I said, it can take you right down into the depths of the nonsense, or it can elevate you to some of the greatest triumphs that you'll ever have in your entire life. You need someone like this on your team. And that's the action. And that's the action. That's what it's looked like. I didn't use the chart very much today, did I? Okay. Anyways, just once again, a little reminder that we're sponsored by the Astro-Side.net and the Astro-Side.com. And if you guys want a discount, there are discount coupons available on our Facebook group. And there's a link to that in the description box below. I'm not pushing the Facebook group. You guys do whatever you want. But if you're into coupons, or if you're into discounts, then there are discounts available on our Facebook group. Some really cool stuff here. I like the tote bag too. Oh, and finally, and that's the action. And finally, this is the SunnySide.net. This is where you go. This is our website where you find everything, your readings and stuff. And that's the action. Thanks everybody for tuning in to Mars in Pisces. I hope everyone has a super, super, super amazing day. If you have any questions, just tune into the live stream and ask away. And if you want a personal reading, check it out in the description box. Otherwise, remember, it's always a beautiful day to be beautiful. And it's together that makes it a beautiful day. From the SunnySide.net, I'm Sonny, wishing the SunnySide. Whoop, whoop. I love our swag. From the SunnySide.net, I'm Sonny, wishing everyone the absolute best of a super beautiful day. Be cool, everyone. And I'll see you guys soon.